Okay, so you guys have sent us a ton of expert reactions to this Beterbiev-Bivol fight. Clearly, you want to get into the weeds on this one.
That's got everyone talking.
Yeah. It wasn't just the fight, it's the storylines coming out of it, what it means for the light heavyweight division going forward.
Right, because like on paper, you've got Beterbiev, still the knockout king, undefeated, another win. But when you see what the experts are saying, it gets way more interesting. That's what we're diving into today.
Exactly. And a perfect place to start is that judging.
Yeah.
We've got Roy Jones Jr., legend, right? And he's calling for a rematch straight up. 4-point difference on those scorecards. Laughable, he says.
And he's got a point. Like a 4-point gap is massive when the fight's this close. It wasn't a knockout, so you're relying on the judges to interpret every single round. Jones and a lot of others felt Bivol had enough strong moments that the margin is just too wide. It's controversial.
Which makes you think, how much of boxing judging is subjective anyway? It's not like counting baskets, right?
No, not at all. And that's where the debate around how Beterbiev performed comes in. Andre Rozier, top trainer, he said he expected more action from Beterbiev. Not exactly a rave review.
So is Beterbiev slowing down then? Is that it? Losing a step?
Well, this is where Rozier gets interesting. He compares Beterbiev to, get this, Bernard Hopkins. Now, Hopkins, he was famous for late career dominance, but it was about strategy, precision, not just raw power.
So not slowing down, but evolving is what you're saying.
Right. Rozier even says even a less aggressive Beterbiev is really hard to beat. So is this his path now, this more calculated fighter? Everyone's thinking about it.
Which is going to make you wonder, would this new style actually make Beterbiev vulnerable to someone like Canelo Alvarez?
Okay, now that is where this gets really interesting. Remember, Canelo tried moving up to fight Bivol, didn't work out. But trainer Chris Elgier, he actually thinks Canelo's got a better shot against Beterbiev.
Wait, really? Now, that doesn't sound right at first.
Here's his thinking, and it's kind of wild, right? He says Beterbiev, being slower now, more careful, that actually plays into Canelo's strength.
Yeah.
Canelo's a counterpuncher, loves that. So Beterbiev comes in, bam, countered.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. But Elger's got to be messing with us, right? Because he also says Canelo should stay in his weight class. Mixed messages.
Right. That's the best part. These experts, they aren't always going to agree. Elgier, he sees the potential for Canelo to use this style against Beterbiev, but he also knows the risk of moving up. It's fascinating.
And just when you think we've got it all figured out, here comes another name, Alexander Usyk.
Ah, yes. Lionel Thompson, another boxer, he's the one who brings Usyk into this, says Usyk would dismantle Beterbiev. Strong words.
Usyk, the heavyweight champ, that's a whole different level.
Right. Now, maybe some national pride there, Thompson and Usyk, both Ukrainian. But even so, Thompson makes a good point about Usyk's style. This guy, he's all about movement, nonstop punching. Beterbiev hasn't faced that much.
So a whole different set of problems for him, potentially. This one fight has opened up like a Pandora's box of matchups. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And that's why these deep dives are so fun. We're not just looking back at one fight. We're looking ahead at how this whole division could change. And it's bigger than just matchups, too.
Yeah.
This whole thing shines a light on boxing judging, which people have always debated.
For sure. It's like the big issue, right? Even if you don't agree with Jones exactly on the scorecards, you got to admit, a lot of people, even experts, they didn't see that 4-point difference coming.
And that's what makes boxing so different and sometimes a pain, right? It's not like you've got clear points, goals. You're judging. What? Ring generalship. Who's controlling the fight, the aggression, the defense? It's all kind of subjective.
Yeah, like judging a dance competition where the rules are made up. That's what it feels like sometimes.
Totally. And you got different judges, different backgrounds, watching from different spots even. All that goes into how they score around. A close fight like this, those tiny differences, they have huge consequences in the end.
It affects everything. The rankings, rematches, even sponsors, right? It's like the controversy is part of the sport now.
And that's what makes this Beterbiev thing even more interesting. It's not just who won that night. It's what it means going forward for their whole careers.
It's like we're watching a chess game, slow motion, but instead of moving pieces, it's their careers, each punch affects.
Exactly. And now with Beterbiev maybe changing his style, getting strategic, how long can he keep winning? Will this new way be better, or will it give his opponent something new to use against him?
Brings us back to Bivol. Even losing, he was tough, smart in there. Could he change tactics, come back stronger in a rematch, you think?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
That's what we all want to know. It's
Yeah.
what's so great about boxing. It's not just about who hits harder. It's brains, it's adapting, it's learning from the other guy. And Bivol, he's a master redactor, we saw with Canelo.
It was like he gave a lesson in how to pick apart your opponent without just going in swinging.
Exactly. And even though he lost this time, he's already thinking, planning, getting ready if there's a rematch.
Because that's what they do, right? These top guys, they learn, they come back better every time.
You got it. So even though this fight is over, the discussion isn't. Rematch. Beterbiev keeps going with this new style. Usyk shakes things up and jumps down a weight class.
So many possibilities. It's like this fight opened up a million questions, a million ways this could all go.
For sure. And that's why we love to do this. It's more than just what happens in the ring that one night. It's the stories, the rivalries, how these guys will be remembered. It's human drama, with this tough, amazing sport as the backdrop. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. So everyone listening, until next time, stay sharp and keep those deep dive requests coming our way. We'll break it all down for you.
It's easy to get lost in the weeds with all this talk about strategy and judging, but we're talking about two guys who put it all on the line every time they step in that ring.
Yeah, it's like we forget there's a human side to this, right?
Totally.
We talk about Beterbiev's power, Bivol's technique, but what got them here? What are their stories?
Right. It's easy to get caught up in the technical stuff, but we can't forget the human element. These are two guys with their own journeys, their own motivations. Like Beterbiev, you see this knockout artist and you think that's it, right?
You think, okay, this guy was born to throw a punch.
But did you know he didn't even start boxing until he was older, like late teens? His background is actually wrestling.
Wow, seriously, that's not the usual path.
Nope. And that might explain why he's so good. He's got this toughness, this physicality you don't always see.
Like he's coming at it from a different angle, almost.
Right. And then you add in his amateur record. This guy was an Olympian, represented Russia before going pro. We're talking top level for years.
So this is a guy who knows how to win, how to handle pressure.
Exactly. And that makes this whole style change even more interesting. Imagine that toughness, but with the calculated style of a Hopkins. That's scary.
He just keeps adding layers to his game, right?
Yep. And then you've got Bivol on the other side. He's resilient in a different way. Maybe not the same raw power, but technical. Like a chess player in there.
Oh, we saw it against Canelo, picked him apart.
Textbook. Controlled the pace, the distance, everything. Canelo couldn't do anything about it.
A masterclass in how to win without just brute force.
Exactly. And even though he lost this time, he's already thinking about the rematch, if it happens.
Because that's what these guys do, right? They learn, they come back stronger.
Always. So even though we've got a result, this conversation isn't close to over. Rematch. Beterbiev keeps this new style. Usyk shakes everything up. Who knows?
So many possibilities. This fight was just the beginning.
And that's what makes boxing the best, right?
Yep.
Is the stories, the what-ifs, the whole drama of it all. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. And we'll be here to break it all down when it does. So until next time, keep those deep dive requests coming, everyone. We'll see you soon.